My funny Valentine. How humor can sweeten or sour a relationship. Come Valentine's Day, the world rhapsodizes about romance, what causes it, and what keeps it going. But the conversation often overlooks a key ingredient to a successful relationship, a sense of humor. Humor between partners is both a lubricant that oils the gears of our relationships and a social glue that binds us, says Steven Sultanoff, a psychology professor at Pepperdine University and former president of the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. It signals our ongoing interest in each other as well as compatibility, cooperation, and commitment. But beware, recent studies also show that humor, the nasty, negative kind, can be poison for a pairing. Humor can help or hurt a romantic relationship, says Jeffrey Hall, a communication studies professor at the University of Kansas. Hall has researched the effects of humor in relationships for more than 20 years, and his 2017 meta-analysis on the subject is cited widely. Humor's value all depends on how it's used, he adds. Forging a connection. A 2023 study in the journal Current Psychology reported that romantic partners rated humor the second most important predictor of relationship satisfaction, just after valuing and before receptive listening. Humor is a language Elvira and I speak fluently, ranging from the clownish to the cerebral. We call each other silly names, we make silly faces, gestures, and sounds, and we crack wise. Then again, Elvira occasionally accuses me of kidding around too much. Full disclosure, she's right, only for me to reply, true to form, surely you're joking. Likewise, she often asks me to stop my self-deprecating humor, my go-to habit of putting myself down to get an easy laugh. Early in our marriage, after I went too far with my wisecracks, Elvira mailed me a sympathy card. Because you were so annoying, she wrote inside, my heart goes out to you. Last year, researchers at National Taiwan Normal University concluded that marital satisfaction is high when both partners use positive humor and low among couples who don't use humor. Positive humor includes affiliative humor, I enjoy making people laugh, and self-enhancing humor. If I'm feeling depressed, I can usually cheer myself up with humor. Researchers from Poland and Italy wrote in a 2022 paper on humor styles and long-term romantic relationships in the journal Personality and Individual Differences. Negative humor, they wrote, includes aggressive humor. If someone makes a mistake, I'll often tease them about it. And self-defeating humor, I let people laugh at me or make fun at my expense more than I should. Malign humor toward oneself and others can foster toxicity in and between people, says Andrea B. Horn, psychologist and psychotherapist at the University of Zurich in Switzerland. Irony, for example, can be very funny but also brutally mean. If humor leads to someone feeling devalued or misunderstood, it can negatively affect a relationship. In general, partners may perceive negative humor, put-downs, sarcasm, and mockery as aggressive, judgmental, and downright hostile. Indeed, a small study provocatively titled Bad Humor, Bad Marriage looked at 98 married and 48 divorced couples. It found that antisocial humor from men and self-defeating humor from women proved to be predictors of divorce. Humor styles were unique predictors of divorce beyond the impact of insecure attachment, researchers from Université Catholique de Louvain wrote. Shared humor may take work. It's all well and good, naturally, for a husband or wife to be individually funny. But are they also funny together? Do the two senses of humor match up? According to some research, partners most value humor that is shared. Individuals belonging to couples with higher shared laughter durations reported feeling closer to and more supported by their partners, wrote the authors of Putting Laughter in Context, Shared Laughter as Behavioral Indicator of Relationship Well-Being. Humor in a couple, at its best, is reciprocated, a collaboration that balances competing priorities. What is strongly related to relationship satisfaction is the humor that couples create together, Hall says. That's the most important takeaway. It's good to have humor yourself, but it's better to see it in your partner, and it's best of all to share it. You affirm your relationship through laughter. Couples can learn to better apply humor in everyday exchanges. The trick is to practice it. Relationships take work, so you should work on your humor together, especially if you feel out of sync with each other, says Robert W. Levinson, a psychology professor at the University of California at Berkeley, who has studied positive emotion in relationships, including humor, for more than 25 years. Talk about it. Say what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad. Give each other feedback so you can calibrate your humor accordingly. In our 48 years as a couple, Humor has turned out to be among the most important tools in our marital survival kit, ranking right up there with respect, trust, loyalty, honesty, and the spirit of compromise. Do you think we're on the same page here? I once asked Elvira in the middle of an argument to defuse the friction in the room. "Bob," she calmly said, "I think we're in different libraries. Call our attitude a matter of philosophy. We kid around with each other because life is much too serious for us to take too seriously."